Hello Yellow Class, I hope you've all had a great half term. It's lovely to see you again. I've recorded this week's set of videos, and I've recorded all of the books that you will need for your guided reading and your literacy tasks. After I've done that, I'm also going to be recording some PE sessions at home with Adam so that you can use those on days when you've got PE. Sometimes Mrs. Welling might be recording some of the videos, so keep your eye out, and it will be either of us doing the videos which will guide you through your learning for your next few weeks. Unfortunately, we still don't know the situation and whether we'll be able to get back together for the end of the term, but I'll keep you posted on things and how they change. So this week we are revising the long I sound, and today we are looking at the IGH spelling, which is the vowel trigraph that comes in the middle of words. On the timetable, there are a few words that have got this IGH in the middle. You can make a game of those. Maybe you can write them out and make a pairs game. Maybe you can make a bingo game for you and your family to play. Maybe you can have a go at designing a full circle game for yourselves. So have a go at using and reading some words with that vowel trigraph in them. Don't forget you've got Spelling Shed, and the code for that is in the front of your reading diaries, so you should be able to log on. That will help you with your practice, your spelling of those common exception words in Year 2. So don't forget you've got Spelling Shed there if you need it. Your guided reading, I'm going to do this slightly differently for the next few weeks. What I'm going to ask you to do is to do 15 minutes reading every week, and then I will give you a comprehension question that you need to answer about the book that you have read with your adult. So do your reading today, and then you have got a question. It says, what words describe, and you need to pick a character from a book that you've been reading and give us some words to describe that character. Right, we're going to do some counting. We're going to do some counting in ones. Are we ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Then practice counting in steps. So do some of that counting. So say we're going to count from 23 to 35. Things like that are just important because when you're counting objects, it's important to know that you can count from one number to another number and that you know when to stop. So you can practice that at home with your parents. Right, today in our maths, we've gone back to our addition. So today we are revising our addition. Now addition is when we have got groups of something and we add them together to make a new total. And when we've added numbers together, we know that our total, because we're adding positive numbers together, our total is always bigger. We always end up with a bigger number. Now, what I would do today, because it is the first session of this week, if I was working with you, I would use those numbers that you had before, and I would look at adding together some numbers where you don't have to cross the tens boundary. So maybe if you were looking at 24 add 35, the 4 and the 5 don't go over to the next tens boundary, so it makes it slightly easier for you to add together. If you want to go straight into numbers that do cross the tens boundary, so that would be like 28 add 37, because the 7 and the 8 make 15, you're then crossing the next tens boundary. If you want to go straight into those, you can do, but I suggest for Monday we just remind ourselves how to add by doing these, and if you're finding that easy, great, see how quick and accurate you can be. Remember those different strategies that we can use. You might be drawing out the deans, so you might draw the deans for both of those numbers and then add them together, and then try to remember how effective can you be. Do I need to count this set? I know there are 35 here. Can I count on from 35? 45, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59. So I can get my answer by doing that. I might partition the numbers, so I might add the tens together. So I might do 20, add 30. I might do 4, add 5. So then I've got 50 and 9, and then I can add those two together to give me my answer. I might draw out a number line. I was going to be naughty then and draw it without using a ruler. So I might draw a number line, and again, drawing a number line, if you think about it, your bigger number comes here. We add on the tens. Now you might do that in 2 jumps of 10. You might be able to do that as 1 jump of 20. And then you've got your ones to add on. And again, you might do those as 4 single ones. Or you might be able to do a big jump of 4. So that then is becoming similar to your partitioning if you're able to do it as the 20 and the 4. Have a go at doing that. And some of you, if you want to have a look, we don't tend to use the column method in year 2, not because it's incorrect or the wrong way to do addition, it's just something that we tend to try and get ourselves a really good grasp of number and understanding what we're doing before we go into the column method. You might want to have a look at that today. It's a bit similar in a way, I suppose, to the partitioning where you're adding up different parts of the number. And if we stick with my same calculation, 24 and 35. So if I was adding up 24 and 35, and luckily with addition, it doesn't matter which way we add them up, we might want to have a look at this, and we need to remember this column is our tens column, this is our units column. So if we were doing 4 and 5, we know that makes 9. We've got 20 and 30. When we add those together, that makes 50. We haven't done this in school, parents, so if you want to have a look at this, you can. I would suggest, as we haven't done it in school, you may not want to look at numbers where you are crossing that tens boundary. The children will find it a little bit confusing and having to understand how you're carrying that 10 over. You might want to have a look at that, and some children may pick that up really quickly. You may not want to. As I say, we don't necessarily learn this in year 2. Sometimes we have a little look at it towards the end, and I would do this with a few children. I wouldn't necessarily do this with all of the children. So it's entirely up to you whether you want to have a look at this. When they go up to their junior schools, they will learn addition and subtraction in this way. So it's up to you whether you want to have a look at that as your extension for this week. But if I was you today, I would be having a go at doing one of these methods. Literacy. Now what I've done for our literacy is we are going to be using our books by our focus author, who is Giles Andrea, and the book that we are looking at this week is called Giraffes Can't Dance. Now, as you can imagine, this is one of my favourite stories, and our question for today that I want you to do some writing about is write about why Gerald feels sad in this story. So writing some sentences and then use these conjunctions to explain your answer. Gerald feels sad because. Gerald is upset when the other animals laugh at him. Gerald is upset or sad if he can't dance. So try to use those conjunctions to write some sentences about Gerald and why he feels sad. Our handwriting today, we are going to write some words with that trigraph in them. So let's have a look. First words we are going to write night. So this is night as in night time. So we've got our M, I, our low down G, our tall H and our tall T. We've got might. Now might is a bugbear of mine, often gets written M-I-T-E. It isn't spelt like that, it's spelt with our trigraph. So we've got M, we've got our I, G, H, T. We have got, let's do light, so we've got a tall L, we've got our I, our G, our H and then our T on the end. And then we could do sight, so we've got our wiggly S, short I, low down G, tall H and our tall T on the end. Now I know you haven't necessarily got any of the handwriting lines, but you can just do this in your purple lined book that you do your literacy in, okay? Now our RE, I know it feels like we've done a lot of RE because we did RE the week before half term and then we've got RE now. The reason we've done that is often we tend to do it at the end, but I've started because how the half term was going to work out, we were going to be doing lots of our topic things towards the end of the term, so I've just left it as it was. So our RE, our key concept is something called gospel, and gospel is all about good news. And we're starting today with our communicate. On your timetable, which is on the website, there is a link for a video which will take you to a Bible story, and that Bible story is Jesus calling Matthew. So these stories are all about Jesus collecting together his group of friends. So I want you to watch that video all about Jesus calling Matthew. And Matthew was a tax collector. Tax collectors are people that take your money for, often for other services, for things like looking after roads or protecting your houses. And Matthew was a tax collector, so he took money off of people, and they're not necessarily seen as very nice people. What I'd like you to think about is, how would it feel if you had your money taken? How would you feel if somebody was taking some of your money? And would you want to be friends with a tax collector? So you might want to discuss that with an adult, and then you could maybe write a couple of sentences which would answer those questions and answer your feelings about those things. And then I haven't got the new sports challenges for next week because this is half term, they haven't come out yet. They will all be posted on the website, and again, if you manage to do them, please send your results in and I will send them off to Mr. Cross and he will then send us the results. And so far we've had 2 winners at our school, so if we can join in with that, that would be really great. Have a great Monday and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now, yellow class.